Hi guys, Justin here, welcome Farm 26, and I don't know if you can see this little chunker not real well, but yeah, I pretzeled up a marker. He's garbage. So what I did is I took and I come and sectioned him out. Well, I finished up corn, I just finished without him. I think I had 20 acres or so. I mean, a guy can plant 20 acres without a marker. It's not fun, but a guy can do it. We're not talking 100, you know. So yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I already sectioned this out. I got a little chunk of steel here. I'm going to weld them up and in. And I'm going to jimmy the marker into full situ. And I think I'm going to try and get the end of month review for last month in the same video. It's not a huge project, but yeah, I think I'm going to give you scabs here and there and see what we can do. So, fire up the welder time. Uh-oh. That's better. And I know this isn't real close up, but after losing the one half of my camera and finding out I'm not eligible to get it fixed, I'm not exactly buying one, so you guys are going to have to take a little bit of a little further away. There. Well, he's kind of tacked. Yeah, I'm going to tweak him up just a little bit, bring him tight, and clamp him. Let me get clamped. So these markers are all kind of on a flat-ish taper. So we're going to have a lot of trim work by the time we're all said and done, but it's just taking a grinder and getting things flat, if you know what I mean. Real close. Then trim tight. And we'll give him a couple tacks. So man, I wished I'd had the camera rolling, but I knew yesterday this opener started, well, he'd turn, but not all the time. Man, I just went like this. I went like this, and it fell, jabbed into the ground. But yeah, if you look, there go all the bearings. I mean, they're just bearing shot. We're going to take and replace him. I think I'm going to bring you guys in the whole way on that one. I do have a couple spare discs, and it's not that big a job. All right, see you in just a minute. So it really is hard. Just think this was on your planter. Just screwdriver, pry your dust cap up, and you're into them. Ooh, there's part of the old bearing left in that dust cap. Now, you can read, new bearing, used disc. It's same sized. It's same size what we just took off. But yeah, there's just the one nut on here, and one will be left hand and one will be right. Just pull your nut in the dust cap, and then what's left of your bearing here. And sometimes you got to take a torch and, you know, heat them up. But sometimes there's a couple shims. Kind of keep note of where they are, because they should put you really close. Then it's just a matter of up and on. And yeah, I'm tight, and you see that there's that's what you want. You want them to touch. You don't want them really squishing. It's just a matter of putting them back on. And sorry for the not much for tripod and whatnot. This is about as tight as when I got underneath that Ford and started changing oil. There, he's tight. We're gonna put a socket on him yet besides, but yeah, they're just so I mean, they're touching, but they're touching, but you can make them separate. You know what I mean? They're not super tight. You can go in on the other side. You can roll one and not the other. That's kind of what you want. Touching, but not stupid tight. So from here, and granted I am going to put a socket on there. Just put your dust cap on and give him a whack. I'm not going to put him in quite yet because I am going to put a socket on there and get him cinched down tight, and we're going to call that opener good. Thought I'd give you a peek how that marker arm turned out, and it was just the same repeated on 3 sides, with the exception of this side. I all welded like to the outside. The plate was flat, so yeah, I didn't have a lot of good meat to tie into this side here, so I left the plate to hang out and just ground it when I was done. But yeah, I don't think I've had I don't think that marker's been that straight since I bought the machine, so we're doing good. I did also take and reseal just the back end ram, just an O-ring. He's been wet, and that's, you can see he's had some drips. So yeah, we're getting closer to beans anyway. Well, there goes Dad, the old 4010, and we got his old drill and that one that I went through. We just kind of tied them together, and away he goes. He's got a little bit of I had about 10 acres of oats, and he's gonna seed it down to hay. I might get a clip of that when I bring the tender past or something. So I'm kind of down to my last box here, but I thought I'd show you guys anyways. You just unlatch them there, pull your drive off, step them up, pull them out. Into the bucket of destiny. But here's the deal. So these boxes, if you don't take and tip them up and shake them, there was another handful that come out. Not as much, but then just take your meters, turn them around about 4 or 5 times. Now you've got a cornless box. So I need a bean disc. So I run Kinze bean meters, and I don't know how well you can see or not. You just want to make sure you didn't leave any trash in there from last year. A guy should really take and really clean them out. It was on my agenda last year, and I forgot all about it, but they weren't too bad. I always store them with your discs off. Then they're just these wing nuts. them off. And I'm going to set you up here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see or not, because I need 2 hands. So your cell plate here, you got to kind of wiggle him in and line him up on them 2 bolts. It's not a big deal. He's really not hard at all. Then give them just a real slow rotate to get them brushes all flat. And if you've been running these Kinze bean meters, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you got no idea what they are, I might just show you in a second. All right, number 4, ready to rip. Flip them on, make sure your drive's on. I always like to rotate the meter until I hear him pop, and there he goes. And then, once I got everything together, what do I do? Put the lid on, that way you know, because I'll be honest with you, not everything's perfect. I gotta get this bucket of corn out of here. And I think I'm gonna grab you. So this is your meter, and maybe we'll turn some better light. There. So you got a brush here, and that brush right there, his whole objective is to keep the metered seed into the drop tube. You got this one here. Now he's supposed to be a blue brush. He's kind of not so blue. You see, I don't know if you can see that little trash coming out of there or not, but man, I could have swore that I went through these, but I obviously didn't. And I didn't loan any of them out. There are a couple guys running these 7000s. But yeah, that's just your... I find it just as easy to spin them off. Okay, and I'll show you one of them plates. So each one of those little fingers holds a bean. There's 60 of them around there, and you can just kind of see how they do. It just bites onto the seed. Well, that's enough of this for now. I'm going to keep going, switching this planter over. We are getting real close to into beans. Well, there Dad goes. He's putting down a little bit of oats and alfalfa grass mix. I kind of wonder how many acres he's planted with 2 Massey drills like that. It's been a lot over the years. That's been, I can remember when he bought them, but boy was I little, like little. All right, catch you next time. This is how I inoculate soybeans. So I got my truck just trickling in. Coming out of gravity box, going up to a tender. I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of a, almost looks like smoke coming out. What you want is just a little bit of dust, black dust coming out, and that's how you know that you're inoculated, you're covered then.